Since the first episode, Halo Season 2 has been trying to undo the damage the first season left behind. So far, we have loved the new characters, the plot twists, and the cleverly interwoven subplots that has given us more than one hint about how the next season might be heavily inspired from the gaming canon. With that being said, the series has been leading up to a highly anticipated finale with significant make-or-break implications for the show, both on and off screen. Given how this season was struck with a challenge of surpassing the Shadow, Season 1's disastrous finale, the Battle of Raskotska, left behind. Episode 8 of Season 2 had a lot riding on its shoulders with numerous unresolved plot lines to address, and of course, the long-awaited debut of the Halo ring in the series. Not only did Halo Season 2 rise to meet these challenges, but it also exceeded our expectations with a doozy finale because this episode closed out the game-changing events of Season 2 while setting the stage for an eagerly anticipated Season 3. So without wasting another moment, let's get right into it. But before we go into explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The episode built up the mystery right from the beginning. The season finale starts with Master Chief John 117 having a mysterious chat with someone unseen. They talk about death and darkness, with the Chief asking what happened down there. The disembodied voice says it was death but not Chief's, hinting towards something dark that the Chief has to confront. And then we're taken to the ONI facility on planet Onyx, where Commander Miranda Keyes examines a strange device she and her mother, Catherine Halsey, had taken from the ancient city ruins below Onyx in the previous episode. Miranda gets worried because some spores on the device, which had seemed inactive, are now active again. She is also being incessantly bothered by a lab tech named Janine, who talks about Miranda's luck in finding such a discovery and asks about the rumors of Halsey being on Onyx. Janine keeps blabbering non-stop until Miranda finally tells her to leave. Before sending her away, Miranda asks Janine if she has messed with a sample, and even though Janine denies it, leaving Miranda's lab, a close-up shot reveals the spore mutating her cells, leading to a creepy but well-executed montage showing Janine's condition worsening. Later, Janine looks sick when chatting with a colleague, and while she tries to act normal, Janine eventually goes wild, attacking her colleague with scissors. As she gets restrained, we see her cells changing under a microscope, thus implying that the spores have infected her, which has probably spread to everyone and everything she has touched. The battle outside the simulation. Corporal Talia Perez, who is a part of the Spartan Javelin unit led by Kai, is on her ship approaching the Covenant fleet near the Halo ring. Perez is praying in Spanish until Kai taps her to stay focused and trust her training. As Kai tries to give an inspiring speech, the ship is hit and destroyed by enemy fire within moments. Somehow, Kai, Perez, and the surviving Spartans quickly regroup to approach the target Covenant corvette cruiser using skydive freefall tactics they practiced in the simulations. Only this was much worse than any simulation, with artillery, charred bodies of their team members, and debris everywhere. Once they reach the ship's hull, they start planning to breach its outer layer, but their hopes are crushed when a huge Star Destroyer-like vessel armed with a mini super laser passes by. Even though Kai tries to keep her team focused on the immediate task of taking down the target ship, she knows only a miracle could help them. With the Edge of Tomorrow-style ship explosion scene, the sound design in this sequence is amazing, and the visuals are indeed excellent. On the other hand, Master Chief is on his ship heading towards Halo's surface, trying to block out the distressing sounds coming from the battlefield on his radio, when suddenly Admiral Parangoski contacts him saying that the Covenant is chasing one of their ships heading towards Halo. Although she tries to convince Chief to focus on getting to Halo first by using their common enemy as leverage, Chief is simply tired of being controlled by her and cuts her off after calling out Parangoski for sacrificing her soldiers. He decides to wait and see what happens with Kai's mission before making a move. Are Layra and Kessler infected? So Kwanha is helping Soren rescue his wife Layra and son Kessler from the Oni forces who took them at Thermopylae. The visions of the dead religious cult leader that the chief met on Sanctuary does not stop coming to Kwanha, warning her about the coming darkness, which basically implies the spreading virus. She then tries to convince Soren to flee with her, but he refuses to leave without his family. Even though Kwan explains that the darkness her family was meant to guard against is now free, Soren does not care and is hell-bent intent on going to the ONI facility to find Lyra and Kessler. Meanwhile, Lyra and Kessler are in jail cells at ONI, where Kessler has a clever chat with Colonel James Ackerson, who was put in the neighboring jail cell after his little act of defiance against Parangosky. But soon things get scary when they realize Janine is in the cell next to them. Kessler's questions somehow trigger whatever is infecting Janine, and she starts vomiting out a translucent parasite when no one else is looking. Master Chief finally puts his helmet on. So, Kai's team breaks into the Covenant ship and sneaks inside, only to discover the previous Spartan team lying dead in the halls. As they turn a corner, they walk into a trap with a big Covenant artillery gun ready to take them down, and the Spartans fight really hard, but the Covenant is well versed with their moves by now. Covenant elites with laser swords break through the Spartans' defense, forcing the squad to retreat with heavy losses. And although the UNSC fleet shows up, their ship is blocked by the bigger Covenant warship, cutting the crew off. When Kai realizes they are on their own, she radios for backup and Chief hears everything. He remembers his past conversation with Perez about how he always survives but only by losing his friends, and how his powers might prove effective in beating all odds. Chief reflects on his supposed luck and decides to take control of his flooded thoughts by using his lucky coin to help him decide, only to control its result. He then gears up for a free fall drop despite Parangosky trying to stop him, asserting that she can't predict his chances. Master Chief then proceeds to put on his helmet and jumps out as the cargo bay door opens. Looks like the classic Master Chief is back in action. On the other hand, at the Arbiter ship, Makee is told by Cortana that her chances of surviving are better if she takes an escape pod to Halo's surface before their ship is destroyed. So Makee asks if John is going to Halo, but Cortana refuses to answer, which worries her because Cortana is loyal to the Chief. When Makee asks Cortana what she thinks Makee will do next, Cortana predicts that Makee will shut her down. After thanking Cortana for her service, Makee then destroys the hard drive containing the AI. Meanwhile, the Spartan team is getting smaller by each hit and running out of ammo, so Kai and Perez grab Covenant weapons and fights hard. But Perez is badly hurt in the process and is dragged to safety by Kai. When they reach the ship's bridge, Kai takes out the ONI device that can turn the ship into a mega bomb. She and Perez decide to go out with a bang, but just as Kai is about to activate the bomb, the battle changes as all the Covenant forces focus on one target. Kai realizes it's the Master Chief, who makes a perfect entry through fire and smoke, defeating the Covenant elites and saving the survivors. Chief then orders the surviving Spartans to help Perez and prepare for extraction. After reflecting on the seriousness of the battle and their roles as the last original Spartans, Chief leaves for his mission while Kai goes to the ship's control room alone. Onyx has a zombie outbreak situation at hand. So Soren and Quan reach the lower levels of the ONI facility and witness catatonic infected people filling the hallways. These people aren't breathing, and it's eerie to see all the scientists and soldiers frozen in place. The cracking sounds from their bones indicate that the parasite Janine released is gradually invading their bodies. As Soren and Quan move past, the infected start to come to life. In the jail cells, Janine wakes up with large lumps on her face, and when she squeezes her body through the bars to attack Lyra and Kessler with a tentacle breaking out of her shoulder, Ackerson grabs the guard's gun and shoots Janine. But then the guard starts transforming into a monster, and with a gun out of bullets, Ackerson realizes he's in a deep pickle. Luckily, Soren and Quan reach the security office, and after seeing a video of Kessler and Lyra under attack in the cells, they rush downstairs to help. The scene with Janine turning into a monster and growing tentacles is one of the most horrifying moments in the show as of yet. While you might have seen scarier things, this moment is particularly shocking because nothing like this has ever happened in this series before. The show has been a standard action-packed science fiction, but the sudden appearance of parasites turning humans into zombie monsters is completely new and unexpected. Anyways, Soren and Quan arrive in the prison cells just in time to defeat the infected guard and saves Lyra and Kessler. As they're leaving, Lyra mentions how Ackerson saved them, making Soren think about helping him too. At first, Soren leaves Ackerson behind, but then he changes his mind and goes back to free him. When Ackerson praises Soren's family, the latter basically asks him to shut up and stay where he can be watched. Master Chief is reunited with Cortana. We see Master Chief doing another free fall jump through space, but this time he is heading towards Makee, an Arbiter's damaged ship caught in Halo's gravity. Meanwhile, Parangosky brings Halsey to talk to Chief, but Halsey knows he wants to find Cortana and advises him on the best way to get into the ship, ignoring Parangosky's objections. The scene then shifts to earlier in the episode when Chief talked to the disembodied voice off screen about his mission's deviation. Chief explains that his connection with Cortana is so important that he's willing to take any risk to save her, and she's the only one who truly understands him. The person he's talking to suggests he should talk directly to Cortana. Back on the battlefield, Chief reaches Makee's ship and finds Cortana alive in the ship's systems. Although Cortana tries to warn Chief that it's too late for them, he refuses to listen to her and absorbs Cortana into his armor while preparing for a crash landing on Halo's surface. After waking up on Halo's surface, Chief realizes it's alive. Soon, Cortana appears and explains that Halo is a living network, blending organic life and AI together perfectly. She points Chief towards a temple-like building where Makee and Arbiter are supposedly heading, with the latter feeling his redemption is so close. So, Chief picks up a laser sword and heads that way. As Chief and Cortana walk, she reveals that Halo was built by a civilization beyond human understanding, but somehow Chief feels connected to it, and that it has been waiting for Chief and Makee all along. While Cortana notes that Makee is driven by religious devotion, she asks what motivates the Chief. Gearing up for his battle with the Arbiter, he says it is where the fight is. The Flood is here. So, Perez wakes up on the evacuation ship, realizing Kai isn't there. When she hurriedly tries to reach Kai, it's too late because Kai is on the Covenant Corvette's bridge, steering it into the larger Covenant assault carrier attacking the UNSC fleet. Her sacrifice surely hurts, but it helps the UNSC gain an advantage in the battle. As Kai dies, Master Chief looks up from Halo, sensing her loss. Meanwhile, Parangoski and Oni's joy is short-lived as Halsey calls Miranda for an update about the artifact they found, only to learn it's a parasitic infection spreading in the base. She turns to see Margaret seemingly being eaten up by the parasite and basically yeets herself out of the room. Following this, Halsey barely reaches Miranda and starts grinning foolishly, saying that this spore, the parasites in the whole disaster, might actually be beneficial. Why, you ask? Because now apparently they can uncover who built the caves on Onyx or the Halo planets and how these parasites might have destroyed them. Now, it's puzzling to me why anyone in the right mind would want to stay in the middle of a zombie-like outbreak for scientific research instead of prioritizing survival. Fortunately, Halsey's nonsense stops as she is frozen by the fungal parasite infection when Miranda discovers her mother is infected on the neck. On the other hand, Soren, Lyra, Quan, Ackerson, and Kessler find themselves facing a whole squad of infected humans in the facility's basement. They fight hard in close quarters, but Quan gets separated and cornered by the infected. Just as she's about to be overwhelmed, the ghost of the religious cult leader reappears, revealing that Quan has the ability to control the infected as she is the protector, and this parasite collective apparently has plans for her. The ghost then name drops the parasite as the Flood, which, if you did not know, is an infamous parasitic raised from the Halo games. Apparently, Quan Ha's ancestors and this monster called the Flood have been in a never-ending battle. Now that the Flood is back, it not only wants to consume Quan Ha, but also wants her to submit to it. This confirms that the Flood is a collective mind that aims to control everything and bring balance to the galaxy. So Onyx is just one place that they're taking over. All those red dots we saw in the holograph in the cave are likely locations where the Flood has been activated due to Halsey and Miranda's actions. Plus, this elderly lady's ghost might represent the spirit of the Forerunners, the groups that constructed the Halos to combat the Flood. As the ghost disappears, Quan escapes while the Flood watches without being able to follow her. As Soren and the group escape from the basement of Oni's facility, Quan catches up just as Soren considers going back for her. Following this, Lyra leads them out before locking herself inside, revealing she's also infected by the Flood. Although Soren tries to reason with her, Lyra says goodbye, asking him to look after Kessler. Sadly, Lyra is taken by the parasite and appears to die in front of them. In a heartbreaking scene while leaving Onyx, Soren, who is usually always cheerful and sarcastic, tells his son the truth about his mother's death. Meanwhile, Miranda places Halsey into cryostasis or a cryogenic pod, hoping to halt the progression of the Flood infection until a cure is developed. When she looks around, a monster is staring at her through the glass, implying that she has nowhere to go and has to find a solution from within the lab. On the other hand, Kai's body is observed floating in space amidst the debris of the crash. The battle we have been dying for, Master Chief versus the Arbiter. Makee and the Arbiter arrive at the facility on Halo's surface where Master Chief awaits. There's little talk before Chief and the Arbiter engage in duel, which has 3 rounds, starting with laser swords before turning into a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Chief wins the first round by cutting through the Arbiter's chest, but the Arbiter gains victory in the second round by overpowering Chief and putting him on his back. In the final round, Chief unleashes his full strength and uses his armor's features like the grappling line to gain an advantage and overpowering the Arbiter, ultimately defeating his alien opponent. The Arbiter tries to give a dramatic final speech, but Makee refuses to translate, hoping for mercy from her ally. Nevertheless, Chief gets the message and ends the Arbiter's life with a sword through his heart Spark as revenge for Spartan Vanak's death. Halo Season 2 finale ends with Makee wanting to pull a Thanos, so Makee tells Master Chief that war will always follow him, even on Halo's surface. She hints at understanding their shared purpose and Halo's true role as a tool for universal purification. Makee defines peace as ridding the universe of destructive forces and declares that, like Chief, she's also a demon before entering the Halo facility. Basically, she wants to commit a genocide in order to establish intergalactic peace. Well, Thanos tried it first. Okay, jokes aside, Master Chief and Cortana are concerned by the sudden appearance of spires on Halo's surface while the UNSC fleet begins landing. Chief then uses the same control module Makee used and follows her into the dark corridors of the Halo facility. Following this, we again return to the start of the episode to the mysterious conversation of Master Chief with an unknown disembodied voice. When he keeps fighting, Chief responds that it's to honor those he's lost and to give hope to soldiers still in the battle. The voice reveals speaking to Makee, who suggested Chief isn't what's needed. Chief voices his lack of trust in Makee, but acknowledges her skepticism about him as well. The unseen speaker is revealed to be Guilty Spark, a floating one-eyed monitor left by the Forerunners who tells Chief that he's connected to something on Halo that's awakened due to his presence. Guilty Spark then urges Chief to confront the darkness and whatever awaits him, and Chief agrees, putting on his cracked helmet and preparing for the next mission. The end of Season 2 suggests that Master Chief or Makee could hold the key to either stopping or unleashing the Flood's destruction, but I guess we'll learn more if Season 3 happens. Marvelous verdict. Compared to the disastrous first season it had, Season 2 of Halo has served. It is a solid entry that wraps up a season marked by inconsistency. Plus, this season even included significant nods to the games, which will surely excite more hardcore fans of the franchise. So far, Halo Season 2 faced an uphill battle, with many fans having already formed opinions long before the finale, but I think each episode varied in quality, ranging from great to not so good, but by the end, this series managed to regain some goodwill this season. Now, it's finally where fans wanted to be from the start, which is a significant improvement. If there's a third season, maybe it could combine fan-favorite moments with a slightly uneven storytelling of the Silver timeline, creating a promising outcome. Now, while it might be too little too late for some, there's still some optimism ahead. So, what do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment box below. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.